Hello everyone. Um, I'm going to do an in the news segment for you today. Okay. Um, I have another video that I've prepared that I'm really having a hard time uploading, and until it's uploaded I can only do quick little things. So I'm going to put this one out there for you, okay? Something that was on reported by Paul Bagley, okay? Um, It would appear that a 40-foot wide hole, sinkhole, has opened up 30 feet deep and has swallowed 8 corvettes. So in the headlines today, I'm sorry it's handwritten, okay? Sinkhole swallows 8 corvettes, National Museum. So I've done a word study, so I want to show you the messages that are hidden in this, okay? I'm just going to close just a little bit, okay? I'm going to read some definitions and I'll show you some. I won't show you them all, okay? The first word we looked at, because I'm following the sequence, sinkhole swallows 8 corvettes, National Museum. Sinkhole, it's a national depression in a land surface communicating with a subterranean passage, okay? Generally occurring by the collapse of a cavern roof, okay? The collapsing, a depression in the land surface, okay? This is going to be, ooh, maybe I should have said it before, I think maybe a little graphic, okay? Because there's a message in there to the bride, again, about the revealing of the times that we are in. Okay, there's 4 messages in there. One is to the bride, graphic enough, so I'm going to need you to use your little imagination, okay, because I don't want to be giving details, okay? Another definition of sinkhole is where a surface stream disappears. Sink, because I've broken them up, sink means to descend to the bottom, to submerge, to seep or seek, penetrate, to make an impression, become felt or understood, to make weaker, quieter. Okay, it's also a definition of sink. To bring to a ruined state, defeat or destroy. I didn't put this in the definition when I put the message together, but I just want to bring you back to mind a message that the Lord gave us not too long ago, how He said that He was coming to invade, and His technique for invading was this, okay? It's the rapture, okay? Because if you recall, we have looked at the rapture, we have looked at the meaning, we have looked at the revealing of the bride. We've looked at the consummation. We've given you messages with the state of the union, which was the state of matrimony, and all kinds of messages out there where He has been clear that this is the falling away. It's the first part of 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3 that needs to happen. This is the revealing, okay? It's the falling away. It's the rapture. It's something that happens. It's very personal. So one-on-one with Him when you are ready to be enraptured, okay? Again, without being too graphic on the content, we're seeing this message happening again, okay? So try to follow through because I will put this together, okay? So a ruined state of defeat or destroy, it's about invading. It's all about invading, but it's in a good sense, okay? Another definition, to defeat, as in a game, okay? To disappear from sight, as below the horizon, Okay? We've looked at sinkhole, we've looked at sink, and now we will look at hole. A hollowed place, a cavity or a pit, a deep place in a body, a deep or isolated place or confinement, as in a dungeon. It's dark, it's moist. An awkward situation, predicament. This is an awkward video. Sorry. He keeps putting it out there because you need to understand, okay? Idiom, in the hole, is to be at a disadvantage. In a card game, to have a card in the hole, okay, as in the stud, poker, to poke, stud. A small harbor, a cove, so that was sinkhole. We went sink, we went hole. So sinkhole, swallow. So we'll look up at the word swallow. Obviously, to cause food or drink to pass through the mouth and throat into the stomach, which is the common definition of swallow. To refrain from expressing, to suppress. So you're going to keep it inside, swallow it out. To consume or destroy, as if by ingestion. So to devour is to swallow, to devour, to consume. To perform the act of swallowing. In nautical terms, we see the word crown or throat, okay, also related to the word swallow. And in the thesaurus, we see sup, a mouthful, to taste a small amount, to take a taste, you will like it. It's one of the examples that they give there, as in a delight. Okay? Swallow, again, a reference to eating or drinking. There was another example, swallow the raw fish, it won't kill you. So that's what eating or drinking. And then we have the word swallow, as in a bird, okay, which totally threw me away, okay. Any of the various small, graceful, swift-flying passerine birds of the family, and they name it, guys, okay, I couldn't name it, but it's a certain kind of family, having long, pointed wings, a usually notched or forked tail, and a large mouth for catching flying insects, and noted for their regular migrations in large numbers, often over long distances. So when I reread it, I had to reread it twice because I freaked out, okay? A swift flying bird or creature, okay? Having long pointed wings, so a pointed winged creature with a forked tail. So if that is not the image of Satan in this description of swallow, I don't know what is, okay? So a winged creature with long wings and forked tails. So what does the sinkhole swallow? 8 corvettes. So let's look at the word 8 in Hebrew. Okay, means destruction. It's referencing Numbers 24:20. The Balaam saw Amalek and spoke his message. Amalek was first among the nations, but their end will be utter destruction. The first amongst the nations, and their end will be utter destruction. It's a reference to America. Okay? What is coming is in a reference to America. Okay? The number 8 means destruction. It's referencing Numbers 24:20, and it means Amalek was first among the nations, but their end will be utter destruction. Okay? So keep that in mind. Amalek was the grandson of Esau. So, isn't that interesting? Because it's coming in the message, because we are using all these words. Okay? Strong, 8, I mean now in the Greek, it means on this side, an Israelite, a priest in King David's time. It's referencing Mark 2:26. In the days of Abiathar the high priest, he entered the house of God and ate the consecrated bread, which is lawful only for priests to eat. So the priest eating the consecrated bread. And a while ago when we were looking at the words related to sinkhole, sink and hole, all separated and together, we were coming up with the word and swallow. We were coming up with eating and drinking and the delight. Okay? And we were associating what was coming with the bride. So I think you can start to understand what this message, one of the messages that this is about. Corvette. I expected to find something about a car in there. Not a one definition, okay? Everything that I found related to Corvette relates to a warship, okay? Several definitions. A fast, lightly armed warship, smaller than a destroyer, often armed for anti-submarine operations. An obsolete sailing warship. Another definition, a highly maneuverable escort warship, smaller than a destroyer. A combat ship. A war vessel. A warship. Now I want you to pay attention to that word vessel, because now we are looking at the definition of corvette, okay? But it will come back later again. This is all about ship, but there's one word in there that says vessel, and it will come back again, okay? National Museum, so national, okay? A subject, a nation, anything that is relating to nationality or the government of a nation, okay? So it's domestic, it's local, it's a country, it's land, it's an individual, it's a mortal, it's a person, it's a somebody, it's a someone, it's a soul. Very common in the message. What is a museum? A building, place, or an institution devoted to the acquisition, the conservation, the study, the exhibition, and the educational interpretation of objects having scientific, historical, or artistic value. Wow, that was quite a mouthful, but it's all that. That's what a museum is. A faculty where things can be deposited for storage or safekeeping. So, a depository, a deposit, a repository are all words associated with museum. Okay? So, now having gone through the words really quick, okay, and I hope you've retained them as much as you can, because now I'm about to put them in the message for you, okay? I'm going to do them in these in bigger format so that you can see better, but I just want to show you all our words, okay? The sinkhole, so sink and hole, swallows, 8, corvettes, National Museum. We'll get a message to the bride. We'll get one about an earthquake and one about a war. Find in this message, the first one to the bride, okay? Sinkhole. There shall be a natural depression of surface. I don't want to get graphic. I will read it slowly. I hope you get it. Communicating with a subterranean passage. It will be the collapse of the cavern roof. You get that? I hope you get that. 144,000 virgins, okay? It means people that have not fornicated themselves with other religions or other churches. They have kept themselves for him. So now he's coming to claim his bride. They technically are virgins. It's okay. He's paving the roof. Let's continue. We'll seek, penetrate. It will make an impression that will be felt and understood. It will soak in deep or isolate place, a cavity. It's an awkward situation, a stud poker, to poke in small harbors, gentle coves. This is us wining and dining together. This is the communion, partaking of his body. Your virgins partakes of your blood at the consummation, and you partake of his. It's the consummation, the communion. This is us wining and dining together. Swallow, refrain from expression. Consume, sup, taste, delight. And the other words do not apply for this message, but the 8 in Greek. For this consecrated bread is lawful only for priests to eat. So if we didn't have confirmation before that the pride, or the 144,000, is the new priesthood, now you have it. Okay, so I will reread this message very quickly to the bride. There shall be a natural depression of surface, communicating with the subterranean passage. It will be the collapse of the cavern roof, the virginity. Okay? Will seek, penetrate. It will make an impression that will be felt and understood. It will soak in deep or isolate place, a cavity. It's an awkward situation, a stud poker. If you are a bride of Christ, you know by now, he has been poking, he has poked, and he will continue poking. Okay? Until you respond, because you're all meant to go to him. Okay? It's a stud poker to poke in small harbors, gentle coves. This is us whining and dining together. So guys, he is whining and dining you. Okay? Swallow. Refrain from expression. Just consume, sup, taste, delight. Delight in him. He wants to delight in you, and he wants the marriage to be consummated. Okay? For this consecrated bread is lawful only for priests to eat, to partake of his body. Okay? The second message that was in there, because we could see it in the first half of the words, and the next message was in the bottom half of the words. Okay? Sinkhole. There shall be a natural depression coming in. This will collapse the land. So again, we see the earthquake. That all the messages that he has been giving me, he has progressed those messages to say that it's the Mount of Olives, and if this is the case, we're looking at the sixth seal as well. Okay? Something huge incoming, guys. Okay? Huge. So much devastation. I've put the messages out there from him, and I have some more again. Okay? There shall be a natural disaster, depression coming in. A natural depression coming in. This will collapse the land, so we're seeing it's an earthquake. Okay? It will weaken your stance. Think. You will become weaker. You will be in a bad predicament. Be in a hole. You will be in a bad predicament. Okay? That's it. So there's a natural depression coming in. There's an earthquake coming in, guys. It's large. Okay? This will collapse the land. It will weaken your stance. You will become weaker. You will be in a bad predicament. Okay? What else is coming in? We used up 8 in Hebrew a while ago, in Greek a while ago for the bride. Now we're going to be using 8 in Hebrew. Swallows, okay? Winged creatures having long wings and forked tails are migrating in great numbers and long distances. You were first amongst the nations, but you will now be utterly destroyed. Because this is what 8 in Hebrew reference, Numbers 24:20. The grandsons of Esau, corvette, approaching on combat ship, on war vessel, onto your nation, and places of scientific, historical, and artistic value. Satan, okay, approaching, migrating over long distances. The grandsons of Esau, you will be utterly destroyed. Approaching on combat ship, on war vessel, onto your nation and places of scientific, historical, and artistical value. What has been in the news, guys? What has been in the news so much? Iran. Iran has got a ship out there coming towards America. They're out there flexing their muscles, simulating destruction of America over the internet and of Israel over the internet. It's been on the news. Our government know they're coming. They're not doing anything about it. Okay? Here are the words swallows, 8 in Hebrew, corvettes, warships, national, your nation. Okay? Swallows, these winged creatures with the forked tails, migrating over long distances. They're coming over long distances. They're the grandsons of Esau. You were first amongst the nations, but now you're about to be utterly destroyed. They are approaching on combat ship, on war vessel, onto your nation. Swallows, winged creatures having long wings with forked tails, migrating over long distances. They are the grandsons of Esau. You were first amongst the nations, but now you will be utterly destroyed. These are the grandsons of Esau that are coming, approaching on combat ship, on war vessels, onto your nation, and places of scientific, historical, and artistic value. Earthquake incoming. This will weaken your stance. You will become weaker. You will be in a bad predicament. And by sea, the sons of Esau are coming on warships, migrating in great numbers. So if you think there's only one ship coming in, that's all you can see is one ship. This message is clear that they are migrating over long distances and that they migrate in great numbers. Okay? So Iran is not coming in alone. Okay? You had better start looking at Russia, and you'd better start looking at, do I want to go there and say China? North Korea? Okay? They are not coming in alone, but they are incoming. They are incoming. The Lord has hid this message for you in the headline today. Okay? They are incoming. Earthquake is incoming. Great destruction. Numbers 24:20. You were once the greatest of nations, but you're about to be utterly destroyed. The 6th and the 7th, the Lord has been giving me messages. I've been doing all this stuff and doing some research and trying to upload other videos and getting caught up and showing you the 4 and the 104 and the 144, because it's so important that you understand that the temple has been rebuilt, that the temple is there, and that you grasp how far we are into this tribulation and how it's the day of the Lord that is approaching. And in all my studies about the World Trade Center and the 104 and referencing Ezra 4, we see that it's the command to go forth and rebuild Jerusalem. Okay? So it's not only a temple, it's the city as well. And if you grasp that, then you grasp when the city fell as well. And if you can, because I've got messages coming, because I think he's giving me dates. Okay? I have sorted them out. I'm going to want you to sort them out for yourself, because I don't want to be out there giving any dates. So you might want to stay tuned to watch for the messages that are coming. If you can grasp when the city fell, or when the temple fell. Okay? It's not a coincidence that he brought you those numbers, and now he's bringing you other messages, okay, that relate to that as well. Okay? So 8 corvettes were swallowed up, okay? They fell in a hole that was 30 foot deep, 40 feet wide. So I looked at all those numbers together now. 8 and the 30 and the 40. And what I freaked out about, okay, that I started beginning a while ago, and I stopped. But now I will show you the word corvette, okay? And all the words, I was expecting to see a car, but I didn't see a car. What I actually saw out there was that it's a vessel, it's a warship, okay? And the word vessel comes back now in the word 30, okay? Eight corvettes. We saw the word warship in corvettes. fell in a 30-foot wide hole. And what does the word 30 mean? It means a vessel again. So by the Lord putting in a headline the word corvette and the word 30, okay, both words, two words that mean the exact same thing, okay? He wanted to show you something, and just so you don't think I'm making this up, I showed you corvette a while ago, what it meant, okay? It had a little design about the ship. It's all about a warship or a war vessel. And I want you to look at the word 30 in Greek, okay? It means a vessel or a flask. It's referencing Matthew 13:48. And I didn't put that there because it wasn't about that. It was about the vessel. 30 in Greek means vessel. 30 means vessel. And so does the word corvette. Okay? So it's not a coincidence that these corvettes were swallowed up in a hole that was 30 feet deep. It wasn't 26 feet. It wasn't 25. It was 30. Okay? That's how the Lord works, so that you can understand messages. Okay, these are not random. So what do we get when we look at the word 8, 30, and 40? All the numbers that were associated with this headline. 8, we saw it a while ago, it means destruction. You were first amongst the nations, but now you will be utterly destroyed. 40 in Hebrew. We have had the 40, guys. Okay? When we looked at the World Trade Center, 40 trucks brought in for 100 cubic yards of concrete cement to pour the foundation. So we've looked at the word 40 before, but just again, okay? In Hebrew, my father is king. In the Greek, okay, this was set apart, so special to the Lord. So we saw that the land had been set apart, okay? 30 in the Hebrew, the son of Aaron, and we see that it meant a vessel. So let's put it together. You were first amongst the nations, but now you will be utterly destroyed. My father is king. This has been set aside, or apart, or called for by God. So what is coming has been called for by God, by the son of Aaron, that comes on a vessel. So a while ago he told you the grandsons of Esau were coming on a vessel, okay? And now he's telling you again, this has been called for by him, the son of Aaron, who comes on a vessel. So it's in the numbers, it's in the words. I hope you take heed. It shows you how close we are to utter destruction. Because sometimes the Lord gives messages and it could be years in advance. Some prophecies in the Bible, we're still waiting for them to be fulfilled. But now we're close. We are so close, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that message, and I hope you get consummated and enraptured, and because it's the revealing of the bride. He has been revealing who the man of sin is. If I can get to my other videos. And the next part is the gathering on to him. Okay? So, we're close.